The morning sun had barely risen when Aria Winslow found herself running down the hospital hallway, her heels clattering like frantic beats of a terrified heart. She had just received the kind of phone call every mother fears, a call from her daughter's school saying something had gone terribly wrong. Her chest tightened as she hurried inside, but what she didn't expect was the moment her world would tilt, not because of tragedy, but because of a man she had never truly noticed before. A humble janitor. A single father. A man she handed a casual dollar tip to just hours earlier without thinking twice. She had no idea that this same man had just saved her little girl's life. But if you believe kindness deserves a second chance, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Midnight Reports to support more heart-touching stories. Aria's day had started like any other, sunny, predictable, and dull. As a senior procurement manager at a bustling corporate office, she moved through her mornings with mechanical precision. She had grabbed her coffee, reviewed her schedule, and rushed through the lobby with her eyes glued to her emails. That was when she had brushed past the janitor sweeping near the entrance. She barely glanced at him. She dropped $1 in the tip box he placed for those who appreciated his extra help with opening doors, offering umbrellas on rainy days, and guiding visitors. She didn't truly see him. Not his tired eyes, not his calloused hands, not the quiet dignity in the way he greeted everyone. She simply placed the dollar and rushed on, unaware that fate would place their lives on an unstoppable collision course before noon. The janitor's name was Rowan Hale, a man who carried the exhaustion of single fatherhood like a hidden weight beneath his simple uniform. Though life had whittled his resources down to the bare minimum, his heart remained wide, generous, and patient. Every morning he left his son, Finn, with the neighbor and came to work early. People usually walked past him without a second glance. But he didn't complain. He was simply grateful to have the job, grateful to be able to provide for his boy, and grateful for moments of quiet where he could breathe. Little did Aria know that this quiet man would soon become the unexpected guardian angel in her life. Back at the school, the day was also unfolding innocently. Aria's daughter, 9-year-old Mara, was playing in the courtyard, chasing a bright yellow ball across the grass. The sky was clear, birds chirped loudly from the treetops, and the world felt safe. But life has a way of drawing sudden, invisible lines, moments where everything hangs by a thread. And Mara stepped right into one of those moments when she tripped, fell forward, and the ball rolled into the driveway where delivery vans made their rounds. As she scrambled to her feet and dashed after the runaway ball, she didn't notice the delivery truck turning the corner at the same time, but someone did. Rowan, who had volunteered that morning to help with school maintenance before heading to his afternoon shift at the office building, caught a glimpse of the danger unfolding. Instinct overpowered thought. He sprinted across the yard, pushing off the ground with a power he didn't know he still had in him. In a split second, he lunged forward and swept Mara into his arms just as the truck screeched to a halt inches away. They tumbled to the ground together, Mara shocked and trembling, Rowan gasping for breath, but both alive. The school staff rushed over. The nurse checked Mara, who was shaken but unharmed. Rowan waved away attention, insisting he was fine, insisting he needed to clock into his next job soon. But a teacher who recognized Mara instantly called Aria. And that is how Aria ended up racing into the hospital where Rowan had been taken for precautionary x-rays because he had thrown himself into the rescue with such force that he landed hard on his shoulder. When Aria arrived, breathless and pale, she saw her daughter sitting in a chair, wrapped in a blanket, clutching the yellow ball. Mara ran into her arms, sobbing, saying that the janitor saved her. That he grabbed her before the truck hit her. That she didn't even know his name. Aria froze, her mind replayed the morning at the office entrance, her hurried footsteps, her distracted nod, the dollar she tossed without eye contact. That man. That unnoticed man. That janitor, he was the one who saved her child. The guilt washed over her like a cold wave. She felt small, blind, and ashamed. How many people had she overlooked? How many hearts had she dismissed without thought? She held her daughter tighter, promising herself that she would look this man in the eyes and thank him properly. Not with $1. Not with pity. But with the full gratitude of a mother who recognized the depth of his sacrifice. When she walked into his hospital room, Rowan sat with his arm in a sling, exhaustion lining his face, but relief softening it. He wasn't expecting her. He wasn't expecting anyone. His world had always been quiet background work, unnoticed contributions, unseen kindnesses. Aria stepped inside, her breath unsteady. She looked at him, really looked, and saw a man whose life had been filled with struggles she could only imagine. She saw strength, humility, and a kind of bravery she didn't believe existed in ordinary people, and for the first time, she realized heroes didn't always wear badges or appear on television. Sometimes they wore faded uniforms and carried mops. Over the next few days, Arya couldn't shake the weight of what had happened. She visited Rowan again to thank him, bringing fresh meals and offering to help with his recovery. He usually refused assistance, but there was something about Arya's sincerity that made him accept small acts of help. He told her about his life, about Finn, about how hard it had been raising him alone since his wife passed away. He explained how he worked double shifts to provide for his son, and how he volunteered at the school because he wanted Finn to grow up in a safe, kind environment. Arya felt her heart expanding in ways she hadn't expected. She was used to structured, polished lives like her co-workers, people who measured worth in titles and salaries. Rowan measured his worth in the well-being of his child, the kindness he could extend, and the quiet pride he took in working hard as the days rolled on, and something subtle began to change. Arya found herself waking with thoughts of Rowan and the resilience he embodied. She started noticing people more, the security guard who opened the door every morning, the cafeteria staff who remembered she liked warm muffins, the delivery man who always wore a cheerful smile. Her world had color she hadn't recognized before because she had been moving too fast to see it. One afternoon, a week after the accident, she picked up Mara from school and found Finn waiting outside with Rowan. The children bonded instantly, laughing as they kicked a soccer ball between them. Arya and Rowan watched them, their eyes softening. It felt natural. It felt like something gentle was unfolding between them, something unspoken but comforting. Rowan confessed that he felt embarrassed that she had seen him in the hospital. He didn't like looking vulnerable. But Arya told him vulnerability was a sign of courage, not weakness. She thanked him again for saving Mara, but this time, Rowan shook his head. He said any parent would have done the same. He said he didn't want to be treated differently. He said kindness didn't need applause. And that was when Arya felt a bolt of emotion hit her, because she realized the world desperately needed more people like him, people who did the right thing simply because it was right. As the weeks passed, their interactions grew more frequent, more honest, and more heartfelt. Arya helped Rowan secure better medical support, offered to tutor Finn after school, and introduced him to programs that could ease his workload.